Wait a moment. Looking at the results displayed on the orb of examination, Ray unintentionally opened his mouth. Seth, who had been admiring the jewelry box a bit further away, felt something, turned around and directed his sight at Ray. Ray noticed it and shook his head slightly at Seth, while involuntarily covering his face with his hand. My magic aptitude is only fire? Is that it? Is it because I fused with Zipairu, a fire magician? While muttering like that, Ray found that it was different from what he thought. According to Zipairu's knowledge, he had definitely called himself a fire magician. However, he only identified himself as such only because it was what he was good at. It didn't mean he didn't use other magic. Though he didn't master all of them, he could also use wind magic, space-time magic, alchemy, summoning magic, and ancient magic. In other words, my aptitude is specialized purely in fire magic, is it? His magic power, at which even Zipairu marveled, he would no doubt become a great war potential with strength and specialization in fire magic. But a novice fire magician like me, using fire magic in a forest? So that was the problem. Naturally, if you are a fire magician, you manipulate fire, and fire can spread to the surrounding forest. If he made a mistake in the scale of magic, with his magic power and fire magic, there was a possibility he could burn down the entire forest. Ray and Seth's skills were also poor. Among earth and water, fire and wind, other than fire, you could safely use the rest in a forest. This isn't the time to think about that. No matter what, we will be forced to leave the mansion tomorrow. We can do nothing more than use what we have at hand. If there was normally enough food for 10 days, that was if you only counted Ray. With Seth having a body in excess of 2 meters, the food would only last several meals. They would starve to death if they remained here. Therefore, the conclusion Ray reached was to head out tomorrow and get to a village or town as soon as possible. In that case, first, I need to confirm whether I can use magic properly. From the inherited knowledge of Zipairu, there was enough information for Ray to master fire magic. But that is only Zipairu's knowledge, not Ray's knowledge. First of all, magic is more dependent on the person's qualities and mental visualization. If he trusted Zipairu's knowledge too much, there was a possibility of making an irreversible mistake in the case of an emergency. Ray answered Seth's questioning cry and stepped away from the magic formation, stopping a little distance from it. From the knowledge he was taught, the magic formation on the floor would not react except to anything except the magic beast art. However, he still was cautious. Grasping the dead sight, he triggered its magic casting effect. Then he took a deep breath to concentrate his mind. He was naturally able to recognize the magic power in his body. Using an incantation, put magic to words, tricking the world and temporarily rewriting it. It's an art to produce the results of one's desires. Because of this, the incantation is different depending on the magician. It is near impossible to achieve the result even if the same incantation as the other magician was used. More than that, earth, water, fire, wind, light, darkness, other than their basic differences, the principle remained the same. This also applied for the fire magic Ray had aptitude for. Fire, gather on my fingertips. Uttering an incantation, magic power is put to words. The importance of this is in the visualization. Even if the process of rewriting the world with the incantation is the same, the clearer the visualization of the outcome, the greater the effect. For Ray, who likes subcultures such as novels, manga, anime, movies, and games, visualizing images of that kind was not difficult for him. The laws of the world are rewritten by the incantation. An example was Rei's visualization. Small flame. With the visualization fixed by the incantation, a fist-sized flame appeared on the index finger of his right hand. Right, the first magic in my life. It's a success. To be precise, the magic beast art was his first magic used in his life. But the magic beast art only absorbed the caster's magic power when an incantation was said on a particular magic formation that had been drawn on this floor. It was a magic almost done automatically to produce a magic beast. The fire magic that Rei had used was from beginning to end something he carried out at his own will and could be called the first magic that he used in his life. Fire magic is usable without any problems. However, using higher level magic than this is slightly difficult. I may burn the entire mansion down if I make a mistake. I must definitely avoid burning the magic beast formation at all costs. He glanced at the other half of the room. He turned his gaze to the magic formation drawn in the center. Seth, seeing Rei's appearance, approached with light steps that seemed to carry no weight and rubbed its eagle-like face against Rei's face. We'll see. I can't practice more magic than this. Rei gently patted Seth's head while saying so. Looking at his arm while petting, he noticed that there was still something to be done. I mustn't forget to choose some equipment. There is no sense in not equipping equipment you have, just like in games. While stroking Seth's neck with his left hand, he displayed a list of the items contained in the mystery ring in his mind. It's a bit hard to search. No, wait, perhaps. Next to the dragon fang was a magic recovery potion. Under that were meteorite fragments and the roots of a mandrake. Rei involuntarily grimaced at the sloppy organization of the item list. He recalled that the creator of the mystery ring was Takano and thought of sort, hoping it would work. That was it, after all. The next moment, the list had been displayed in his mind, was categorized by type and updated, as expected of Takano. If it played like a game, then it was a natural function. Mystery Ring adapted to the expected form wonderfully. Weapons are not going to be a problem because there is Death Sight. In that case, protective gear. When looking for protective gear on the list in his mind, he immediately stopped scrolling when he saw the name of one of the items. Dragon Robe. It was blatantly expensive sound to it. In addition, it seemed to have a high performance. He explored Zephyrus' knowledge in a hurry. The robe was made from the skins of dragons that have lived for several hundred years. Because it was finished by coating it in dragon's blood and dragon-powdered bones, it boosted an unprecedented magic defense. More than that, the robe was made by layering 2 pieces of dragon skin, with dragon scales placed between the 2 skins. The physical defense was also considerably high. Because the skins used were from a fire dragon and water dragon, it was cool inside if it was hot outside, and warm inside if it was cool outside. And finally, the alchemist who made this robe, Esta Nord, the alchemist of Zephyrus' organization, attached some effects, such as concealment, to the high-performance magic item. He was surprised at the high physical and magic defenses. However, what really surprised Rei was that it was air-conditioned if he wore it. This will be good as temporary protection. He selected the dragon robe in his mind, and the next moment, a black robe appeared on his right. With this, the weapon and protective gear are okay. The next are shoes. When he viewed the footwear category, like the time with the dragon robe, his eye stopped at one item. Shoes of Sleipnir. Sleipnir was a monstrous horse with 8 legs. Its speed was the highest out of the monsters that ran on the ground. It should be noted that it could also run in the sky. The shoes were made from the leather of this monster. It had an effect of increasing the speed of whoever wore it. It was also possible to jump and kick the air to stay in the sky for a few seconds. With this, the shoes are picked. As with the dragon robe, shoes of Sleipnir were taken out from the mystery ring and placed on the floor. Seth watched with round eyes as each item was taken out from the mystery ring. He abruptly rubbed his head against Ray. What? Do you also want some equipment? Wait a moment. What would be good for Seth to equip? While scratching Seth's head, he displayed Mystery Ring's item list in his mind and took out several items that looked good. Bracelet of Wind Manipulation. When equipped, it can block a single magic spell. It can only display its effects again for 10 hours after its use. Bracelet of Herculean Strength. A bracelet to increase the strength of the user. Bracelet of Magic Absorption. If the user attacks and damages an enemy, magical power proportional to the damage done is absorbed from the enemy. Love of Shizukuishi. A pendant shaped like a water drop. Sephiroth's organization alchemist, Estanord, processed a unicorn magic stone using alchemy. It gives the equipped continuous healing effect. Well, these things. Seth, which one is good? After hearing Ray's words, Seth seemed to enter a state of thought. While making some sounds, he lifted up the Bracelet of Wind Manipulation, Bracelet of Herculean Strength, and the Love of Shizukuishi in his beak. Ray stroked Seth's neck and involuntarily gave a wry smile as he saw the situation. 3, is it? Well, maybe my companion Seth needs that much equipment. The pendant can be worn around the neck, but what about the 2 bracelets? With a small cry, he held out his left and right eagle-like forefeet. This, will it fit? I wonder. No matter how one looked at it, the feet were larger than the bracelet. While thinking so, he judged that it would be okay since it was a magic item, and brought the Bracelet of Wind Manipulation near the right foot. The bracelet changed its size when it was brought near, and the Bracelet of Herculean Strength was also nicely fitted onto the left foot. Magic items indeed. While admiring that, he finished lastly by placing the Love of Shizukuishi over Seth's neck. Magic items that he had received from his master Ray. Seth rubbed his head against Ray while letting out a happy cry. Afterwards, Ray equipped the remaining bracelet on his arm, and their equipment preparation was complete. Death Sight. A weapon made from the magic beast art. Dragon robe. Protective gear made from dragon skin. Shoes of Sleipnir for his feet. Mystery ring on his right wrist, and bracelet of magic absorption on his left. The person himself was not aware, but including the magic items that Seth was equipped with, in this world, they would be called super top quality items. As Ray looked at the equipped items with satisfaction, the sad voice of Seth brought him back. What's wrong? Even for a magic beast made with Ray's magic power, it wasn't able to speak. However, the nuances were generally understood. While crying sadly again, Seth rubbed his head against Ray's belly. In this state, Ray finally felt like he understood what Seth was trying to say. Are you hungry? Seth nodded. He was complaining of hunger. Ray then noticed himself that he was pretty hungry too. Come to think of it, I haven't eaten since I got up. Well, I'm also hungry. Then let's go to the dining room. It will be the last meal before we leave. Ray, along with Seth, left the laboratory and headed towards the cafeteria. On a side note, even though Seth boasted a considerable size and length at 2 meters, it was possible to leave through the laboratory door as it was designed on the premise that people who entered would use the magic beast art. Afterwards, some dry, boring black bread that was left in the kitchen was soaked in water and eaten. Seth and Ray were tired after finishing the lacking dinner and fell asleep in the bedroom.